So the best thing that I can do in the future is just to make sure that when I'm looking at this microphone that there are only 2 green dots and not 3. I'm gentle parenting myself just to let go of the fact that I just recorded a 30-minute long, incredibly authentic, it's so funny. I just recorded half an hour long chat, and I'm in a completely different mood and mindset than I was at the beginning of that video. But the Lord works in mysterious ways, because I ended that video with a letter to myself and with a prayer over myself. And then I concluded the video and the sound had been recorded. And I think it has to do with the fact that that audio was not actually meant to be accessible for other ears. I think it was actually just supposed to be for me. Maybe that's how it is. Maybe that's the truth. So we'll never know. We'll never know. And I'm just going to have to let it go. So I'm not going to be able to recreate what just happened here. And these, if it is true that these videos are supposed to be just check-ins with myself for myself, then it should have been enough, and it somehow is enough, that everything that I just said and experienced with myself, it was just for the sake of having that chat with me. So, I was really frustrated for a minute there. I was so frustrated because as soon as it finished, I was like, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to post this. And not because of performance, but because I was like, oh, that was so raw and authentic and so me. And I need to hear those words. But when I'm honest, it was very scatterbrained. Scatterbrained. So I'm just going to continue. My voice is honestly just a little bit, you hear that knick knack? My voice is a little bit raw because of talking, and then I was in the studio today, but I do want to just highlight a couple of the points that I did talk about. And I'm letting go of the frustration. I'm letting go of the frustration. There's nothing I can do about it, and it's okay. So life goes on, even if there are moments where we don't actually get to record them. It's kind of the same thing. It's the same feeling I had at the GEMA Mitgliederversammlung 2 weeks ago. I was talking a little bit about that, but I'm letting it go. That video didn't actually happen. It's the same thing that happened 2 weeks ago, where I was at this conference, and I talked last week about the session, the songwriting session, from which we produced a demo together. Now my thoughts are actually a little bit better sorted, and I'm not jumping all over the place. Wow. I guess that was a good thing. So it was like at the conference where I didn't personally take any videos of that session. I mean, there were photos taken, there were videos taken, but in the end, I don't have any video material, or I mean, I have the actual song, but I don't have any video material where it's like, oh, here's a reel, here's a post, here's a story. It just happened. And if you were there, you were there. And if you missed it and you didn't see the other, you know what I mean? So it's like, now I'm mistrusting everything. Mistrusting the camera, mistrusting the microphone. I did 3 sound checks, and so it is definitely working. I was wondering why all 3 buttons were green, but now I know. I just said I was letting go of it. Now I'm picking it back up. So let it go. Okay. I'm just gonna do bullet points because the original excitement that I had before is kind of gone, but I'm gonna recover it because there are a couple of really important points that I want to make sure that my future self can hear in looking back on this video in however many months or years. So last week we completed our career coaching with the wonderful Melanie, and I was spending 6 months, and I was doing once a month. I was having career coaching, and also out of that career coaching session, I have a bunch of these big old pieces of paper. I got a bunch of big papers, and I want to digitalize them. I'm really such a freak. I'm a freak. I write so much stuff. I mean freak in a good way. I write so much stuff on paper, and then I have to digitalize it. And organize it and make it make sense, because I still have like this whole book. I was talking also, I was talking about how like I have all these notes from last week or 2 weeks ago at the GEMA seminar. I have all these notes. I have these big papers. I have all these notes, and this is like gold. This is such important stuff, but it's all in paper, and I love paper, and I'm so old school in that way, but I need it digitalized because there are so many like to-dos that came out of it, and so much homework. And I feel like I still haven't processed that whole experience. There's so much that happened, and I had honestly a couple of bad days in between. And so the moments that I would have had to process, I was just like spiraling. So since yesterday, I'm like back up. And then before that, there were a couple of good days. And the crazy thing is, like, um, I really believe this is how the enemy works too. Like, in the moments where things start to really go well, all of this self doubt, all of this guilt and discouragement and fear, and all of these negative emotions are coming up. And it's kind of like a form of self sabotage where, like, there's so much stuff to celebrate. First of all, let me say it again to myself. 6 months of career coaching, of showing up, 6 months of showing up, asking myself hard questions, going through this counseling and coaching to figure out, like, what the is going on with my career. Which career? Oh, the light is back on. I was working with, oh, don't pick it back up. The audio didn't work. Let it go. My creative career. It's not just my music career. I see under this whole umbrella, it's like everything creative that I'm doing in a professional way, and that I have yet to do, but also belongs to my creative career. So be it these workshops that I do, the sound journey, sound baths that I do, obviously the concerts, and musical accompaniment to events and experiences. Obviously, I've had like 2 people ask me to give them singing lessons. I leave it at that. So the choir directing that I was doing, the poetry, like these concepts, like all of the things that I'm capable of doing that I can professionalize. There's more, obviously, the pedagogic work with kids, but right now that's totally on pause because I can't do it right now energetically. Like, I can't handle the pedagogic work, and I'm still scarred from working in the school. So okay. So this coaching like just gave me so much more clarity, not about like specifically which job am I gonna do, but what are the conditions that I need and what are the steps that I need to be doing. So all this stuff happened at once, like finishing the career coaching, the GEMA conference, which I talked last week. Like, I was going on and on about how good it was. Like, y'all, it was so good. And the fact that like we cut this demo, and now that demo goes onto my now album, which was an EP, but because it's now over 30 minutes because of this one song, it's officially an album. I mean, and it's 8 songs long. um I think my nose is a little stuffy. I gotta clear it up just like the last one, because I really got my allergies. I know I'm off camera, but I know y'all heard that. Okay, another win. So those are already in themselves like really big wins. Another win, I was talking about the harmony between this triangle. Like, my skills on the keys have been progressing alongside my understanding. I got to show a couple of things. My understanding of like relative major and minor keys, theoretical music theory topics, like especially when it comes to intervals and keys and building scales, like, and the fretboard theory. So like, I'm not as enthusiastic as I was just explaining it, but once again, I've picked it up. Let it go. Okay, so the connection between like the keys and like learning more about the keys. I'm really just such an autodidactic learner. That's why like I would have I would have to have like 10 degrees to match like all of my interests, and I can't just go to school the rest of my life. So yes, somehow yes, but um the point is I don't have to now go back to school and like get a degree in music to pursue music, and I don't have to go back to school and further my knowledge. Like I already have a journalism and marketing degree that I haven't really used, but now I'm getting to incorporate it. I do have a marketing degree, but my focus was on journalism. So I don't know why I'm walking over here. I think I'm just thirsty. I just came from a webinar. Right. I came from a gamer webinar and had one yesterday too. With the exception of the one that was about TikTok, because I have just such a blockage. Every time I hear TikTok, it makes me aggressive. With the exception of that one webinar, like this one was so good. All of them have been so good. And I'm not just like, part of me is like, the goody part of me. If I'm being totally honest with myself, part of me is like, it's this like, I want to be a good student, and like I want to be a good gamer member. So I'm hyping them up, but I really like, it feels like a life changer, and it's serious and it's very like authentic to myself. It feels like a life changer to be a part of this community and this network now and this family, because honestly I feel like I'm not swimming alone anymore, and I really have so many like tools and experiences and free resources that are now all of a sudden accessible to me, which they weren't accessible before. So I'm understanding how valuable that is. Like sitting in a webinar today was about women empowerment and being a woman in the industry, and in the end it was like a sweet ladies round, on a girls round, and then we were all just like sharing tips and stuff, and it was so nice. And then there was this moment, um I have to share this with my future self, because it's like, it's really just, it's the reality of showing up consistently. I had my first webinar a couple months ago. And in that webinar, like I wasn't always going on camera because I noticed a lot of people weren't, but I would always ask questions and I always signed in with my artist name. And then like I would always at least try to get my name mentioned once, like by the host. Not just have my name mentioned, but so that it like, also conditioning, not just for that, but I was like, they don't know me, and somehow I have to get noticed in this huge pool of folks. And so after webinar, Dagmasha kept saying like, oh, and RevivaLiz has a question now. Oh, here's another question from RevivaLiz. And so then today she was like, "Oh yeah, and I saw that you were at the session last week at the gamer conference," and I was like, "Oh damn," because this is the whole point. I'm trying to play it cool, but that's the whole point. Like, I spend so much time. I think I'm gonna start crying a little bit. I spend so much time second guessing myself. And then like even yesterday I was at this webinar and I was like, I'm not doing enough. I need to get so much stuff done. Like this album has to come. Actually, I'm not putting that much pressure on myself by the album. I know it's gonna be fine. Actually, I'm pretty relaxed about it. But I get into such a headspace where I'm like, it's not good enough. I'm 30. Like I also, getting all these like delusions in my head of like, I'm 30, I should already be here, and I'm too old for this and I'm too young for that and stuff. And this moment I felt so seen, and it wasn't just about one person seeing me, but it was about teaching myself. It's so hard for me, honestly. Like in the past, it's been so hard for me to be consistent. And I honestly, like, I'm usually like giving up on stuff so quickly. Um, I didn't learn as a child. I'm not blaming on my childhood, but I know that it comes from a childhood of like, if things get tough, like, just quit and try something else. It's hard. You don't have to do it. Just do something else. And so, and I love my mother. Yeah. And I also appreciate, like, she's always supported me with everything that I do. But I didn't learn that growing up of like, things are hard and you got to be resilient and find a way through. And And I think just generally, like, I really exhausted myself because I've always had such high standards for myself. And the point was, all of a sudden, I'm a newcomer again. And I'm not saying it doesn't matter, all the experience that I've had, because it does make a difference that I now have 10 years of performing live under my belt. Like, that's already a big thing. It does make a difference that that I understand when I'm on a stage which lighting is preferential, not just for my identity and for my branding, but also for my skin and for the mood I want to create on the stage, and how to speak with the producer, how to move in certain rooms. Um, so there's so much that I've already, how to design a flyer, like little things, like they seem like little things, but I really have had so much practice. I have to design a flyer right now, actually. Not right now. Can wait. Um, there's so much experience that I've gained, so I'm not starting from zero. And I forget so often how much I'm already bringing with me. And then there's a moment like this where it's like, wow, consistently showing up, it really does pay off. And I need to hear that in moments where I'm like not immediately seeing results and I just want to give up, because I'm recognizing also, like, in not only for this reason, but I'm also recognizing, like, in the industry and in general in life, I think in any industry or any business, like, so much happens um, via personal communication and relationships with one another. So um, thank God that I have a degree in communication, not just for the skills or the tools. And I know I'm like kind of goofy on camera too, but that's also just my personality. And I want to be like real and authentic with my future self here. The point was, it's not about like knowing how to communicate, but like, isn't it so funny sometimes, like, how God's plan is, it seems like things aren't related, but at the end, like, it all makes sense. Like, it makes sense why I've gone through the specific path that I have, and it makes sense why everything is sort of happening now. So I'm always checking this time just to make sure. Okay, so I did do a couple. So I was in the studio today. What were the other good things that happened? So I was in the studio today. Progress on the album is actually going really well. We have 2 songs that we haven't started yet, but it's only 2. At one point it was 7. 5 months ago it was 7. 5 months ago we had 7 songs to do, and now we have 2. That's crazy. The other 2, my throat is dry, and I think I actually am gonna have to close because I want to be kind to my voice. And I did sing today, so maybe I just have to be a little softer. And I'll close in a couple minutes. The studio session went really well. And I think I talked a little bit about, I think I already talked about that. Yeah, don't be afraid. I do want to speak again, another little letter to myself and another little prayer over myself, because I want myself to see this in the future and just hear it. And I'm thinking if there's anything else that I want to share. Look at my flowers. I love flowers. I love flowers. Oh, and last week I I conceptualized, I filmed right here. I conceptualized and filmed and executed it and edited like a short film reel, basically. Not short film, reel. And it was like a mini music video, and it was probably the best edited reel I've actually ever made. So, and conceptualized, and with the outfit and with the movements, and that accompanied by my music. So that felt like a big win for me. Um, a music editor from Berlin followed me on Instagram and wrote me and was like, let me know when you're releasing new music. But I'm not bragging, but I'm really like, come on, Elizabeth. Like, why are you so scared, you know? My Tunes and Tastes live session just came out last week. Hop, hop. Like, come on, things are going really well, girl. um, I'm gonna be fine. Okay, I think this is the moment where I have to close because now I'm searching around my room for different things and themes, but I think it's enough. And the way that I just ranted before, like it was for me. Okay, so I really do want to close though. My nose is stuffy. And some caterpillars have been eating my kohlrabi. So I've been trying to catch them, but I definitely sprayed I put some garlic down, some pepper. I put some little soap water scrub. I was doing all of the things. So those mother truckers better leave my kohlrabi alone. I still haven't seen them. I went out with a flashlight 2 nights ago. I still haven't found them. Okay, and I better see some leaves still on my kohlrabi. Okay, I'm gonna end here. And isn't my hairstyle so cute today? I just think got inspired. Got inspired by my 4-year-old self. Okay. Um, Cover album. I don't need to search for other things. I think that's enough. Okay. I want to speak directly to my future self. This flashlight is a little bit bright for me, but I'm just gonna go with it. Okay. Speaking to my future self, and then I want to speak a prayer over my future self, over my present self. Okay. So, my future artist, Elizabeth, RevivaLiz, my future artist, RevivaLiz, may you know that even in moments when you are feeling fear and doubt, grief, discouragement, all of these emotions, that they're a part of the journey, but they're not a part of you. And they're not coming from a divine source. They coming from the enemy. And you don't have to carry all of that stuff around with you. And like, jokes aside, you really can give that to God in every moment. And like, anytime that you're feeling overwhelmed, know that like, you do not have to carry those burdens around with you. Let them go and don't pick them back up again. I want you to know that there was once a time where you were so dark, deep, 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 way down, deep down in the gutter. And that you, in the last 8 months, have pulled yourself out of it. Through music, you've been healing. You've been spreading healing to other people, which like already in itself is such a success. So I want you to remember in moments where you're asking yourself, like, am I successful yet? Have I made it yet? Like, that you remember already today, May 18th, 2026, you were already successful. So everything else will come along with it. I want you to know that there is always going to be a way that's paved for you, and that your creativity is a gift from God, and it's something not just uniquely you, but in this form, it is uniquely yours. I want you to know that this gift has been given to you so that you can give it back to the world and give it back to God. So fulfill the assignment and don't give up. Okay. Want to double check? Oh, we still got it. Okay. I actually want to close there because on the first try I did pray on camera, and I feel like to recreate that right now honestly feels performative. So I'm just gonna take how it was for me in that authentic moment, and that feels like enough to like say, to speak already that over my future self. So no, actually no. I think I got something I gotta say. Okay. Whew, to my present self, Elizabeth Pamela Weems. I speak peace over your heart. I speak calmness in the storm. And then in any and every single moment when you're feeling like you are drowning or sinking, that you know you can just keep your eyes like fixed on the light, okay? And that I speak, a sense of relief over you, and just a sense of reassurance that even in moments when you're feeling a lack of stability, like, look to God for your stability, because He's really there holding you and keeping you. So you are his child, and you can come to him at any moment, and just know you're not forgotten. And I speak a sense of belonging over you as well, and a sense of security. All material things come and go, but that which remains is what has really the true and most value. So I speak good night's sleep over you. I speak a limitless a number of songs and expressions of creativity over you, and I speak an unlimited number of opportunities as well. And yeah, that you will have a keen sense of divine wisdom also in discerning and knowing which opportunities are for you and which ones are for someone else. So know that even if one door is not open to you, that there are an unlimited amount of doors that are just waiting for you to knock. So have courage. I speak courage over you. Amen. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Okay. That's enough for today.